found when I looked into how the RNC is spending donor money is that over $3 million since 2017 were spent on private jets. That's in addition to the commercial flights that probably the lower rung staffers have to take to where they're going. $750,000 on floral arrangements. And these are not flowers for events or fundraisers. If you're a staffer, a senior staffer, you get to go to things like a Raiders game and a private box paid for by RNC donors, or a retreat at the Salamander Resort and Spa that's about $1,000 a night just for the room. $43,000 at Top Golf, $13,000 for shows like The Lion King on Broadway. Insane amounts of spending, and $17 million on donor mementos.
I do love Top Golf. I wonder if Kira loves Top Golf. Joining me now, my friend Kira Davis, editor-at-large, RedState. Kira, you're a woman, so you probably don't golf. At least I hope you don't. But have you been at Top Golf?
I've not been in Top Golf, and no, I don't golf because the only thing that's more boring than golf is women golfing.
All right, Kira, the RNC. Should I care about it? I do care about it, but I can't decide whether or not I should. Does it matter? Explain to people why it matters.
Yeah, you should care about it because the RNC is tasked with raising funds and winning elections. The RNC effectively is a leadership organization. It's supposed to set the tone for elections across the country. It's supposed to set strategy, both federally and locally. It's supposed to send help to local Republican groups to help them win elections. So yeah, when we hear that the RNC is spending $750,000 on floral arrangements, yeah, you should be concerned about that. You know, I was talking to Jennifer Van Laar, who broke the story, and she was saying she spoke to a woman recently who said, I work at a grocery store. I sent the RNC a few dollars because I was so concerned about what was happening in this country. And don't we all get the RNC emails every week, practically every day during election season? Help us win this election. Help us beat back the Democrats. And that's what she did. So she works 12 hours a day, comes home, feet aching, back sore. She's got to feed her family. She's sending her hard-earned money thinking that they're spending her money on winning elections so that she can live a prosperous and peaceful life in this country she calls home. And what are they doing? They're going to places like Top Golf and spending $17 million on mementos for donors who are donating to win. They don't want the crystal vase. They want to win.
Now, Mitch McConnell, the GOP. Kira, it's not exactly secret what I feel about the low-T GOP, but when I see clips like this from Mitch McConnell, I find them to be so disheartening because it looks like they're not even close to caring about what we care about. Here's Mitch.
Making sure the Defense Department can deal with the major threats coming from Russia and China, providing assistance for the Ukrainians to defeat the Russians. That's the number one priority for the United States right now, according to most Republicans. That's sort of how we see the challenges confronting the country at the moment.
Kira, have you talked to a single Republican whose number one priority is Ukraine?
Not a single one. In fact, I've only talked to Republicans who have said that should be our last priority. Now, I've talked to plenty of Democrats who think Ukraine should be our number one priority for whatever odd reasons. But yeah, this is just another sign of the complete disconnect between the Republican Party and the voting base. And I even saw it when I was running for school board here, Jesse, in Southern California. As you know, I lost that race, but one of the issues that I and other candidates in my area had is the state and county GOP really just not understanding the temperature of the electorate right now. So part of our problem, besides whatever shenanigans might be going on the Democrat side and with elections, part of the problem too is that, I'm sorry, the Republican voter base is getting less and less motivated every day. And that is because leadership is stuck in 1992. And I don't know if I don't have to remind you that we are coming up on 2023. It is a completely different landscape, even from 3 years ago. So to even rid ourselves of a lifer like Ronna McDaniel, someone who's just in the system forever, even to do that sends some kind of message. It's like they're not hearing us, and I'm not sure what can be done to make them hear us, except for some important people to lose their jobs. Doesn't look like Mitch McConnell is going to lose his job anytime soon unless he drops dead. But there is a chance for Ronna McDaniel to be made an example of.
Yeah, why would they hear us, Kira? And honestly, this is something I've been expressing the past couple of days. Why would these losers like Mitch McConnell ever change their ways when every single time there was a Republican primary, Mitch McConnell is going to get 70+% of the primary vote in his state? My own state, Texas. Weapons grade loser John Cornyn is a senator. He's been a senator for 20 years, been a loser for 20 years, over 70% of the vote. Over and over and over and over again, these Republican primary voters go out and vote these losers back in. Of course, they're not worried.
Yeah, they're also not worried because they're all protected by the DC bubble, the Beltway bubble. So they're once you get inside the Beltway, you know this just as well as I do, Jesse. Once you get inside the Beltway, those people are all the same. Democrats, Republicans, they're all working together. They're married to each other. Their kids go to school together. They go to the same cocktail parties. We really aren't looking at Republicans versus Democrats or left versus right now at this moment in history. We're looking at voters versus the political class. I don't know what the answer is to get voters to wake up or pay attention. Sure, Mitch McConnell is going to win that race by with the 70% margin, but also what's the voter turnout for primaries? I mean, here in California, the primary race has got 18% of the voter base. So again, circling back to Ronna McDaniel, this is a leadership problem as well. And that's what has to change. So maybe we can't change leadership at the election level, but there seems to be a lot of buzz to get the RNC leadership changed. It's a small sliver of hope, I realize, but it's one I'm clinging to, because once you have that leadership change, then you have somebody, hopefully, who is going to be willing to go out there and do the work of motivating the base to get out there. No Republican candidate should be satisfied with an 18% primary turnout in their state. It's pathetic. And the fact that it keeps happening says that the GOP is not doing their job.
That's true. It's true. And it shows how complacent we are, too. I don't like the Republicans. I don't like the Republicans. Oh, no, I don't vote in primaries. What are we doing out there?
Support the First TV today and get instant access to exclusive specials like Who is Ron DeSantis, the history of FBI scandals, and America's worst presidents. Visit thefirsttv.com/support or download the First TV app to become a supporter and start watching today.